The title of this video sounds crazy, right? Or does it? The Giant Gown Brothers, Eric Down, Silver, Gol D Roger, famous pirates of the past. Since One Piece chapter 907, it was confirmed that Vegapunk has invented something that was deemed strong enough where the Shichibukai is no longer needed. But what could that invention be? I'll give you a clue. It won't be the ancient giant-sized marines like we've seen in Onigashima. If it was them, then why would we see it now even though they are the failed versions? If they weren't, then the Destroyers could have taken them down individually. That would indeed be a useless weapon and not a worthy Shichibukai replacement. The clue is that Vegapunk has perfected the lineage factor. All life forms have the lineage factor, and by manipulating it from a young age, the growth of a life form can be changed. Eating it therefore affects one's lineage factor, which allows them to gain a supernatural power. There have been two great scientists in One Piece, and both have used the lineage factor. First is Vinsmoke Judge, once renowned as a brilliant scientist. Judge worked alongside Vegapunk in a legal weapon research and development team over 21 years ago. Together with Vegapunk, Judge was able to discover the blueprints for the creation of life itself, attributed as the lineage factor. A highly skilled scientist, Judge has advanced knowledge of cloning and gene manipulation techniques, being able to conduct his research of the lineage factor by himself even after the world government capture of Vegapunk. It is stated by Smoker that Caesar Clown was Vegapunk's former colleague and used to have a rivalry with him, but Caesar Clown was always considered second best, which might be the main reason for his holding a grudge against him. As all of Vegapunk's research and inventions, including humane motives and illegal procedures, Vegapunk eventually dismissed him, which led Caesar to hate Vegapunk even more. Despite this, he showed interest in acquiring Vegapunk's Sager system to the point of wanting to capture Frankie for that sole purpose. His production of SAD is also a practical application on the lineage factor Vegapunk devised. Now in this video, I'll be remaking my old video created 2 years ago by the new Pastfists, and also talking about the new Supermarines who will fight alongside them. Hi everyone, Flying Panda, the One Piece theorist.
Gol D Roger's returned. The Pirate King level Marine officers. Vegapunk, a perfect experiment.
Hi everyone, Flying Panda. First I'll be talking about the new Pastfists, and after that it will be about the new Supermarines, which involves the lineage factor. I'm still hyped about One Piece 903, and another thing I have to mention is that Vegapunk was mentioned in the newspaper. For those who didn't realize until now, Dr. Vegapunk has never been mentioned at all besides from his creations. Dr. Vegapunk is the leading scientist in deployment of the Marines. His work includes discovering the secrets and uses of Sea Stone, the secrets of how their free powers work. The co-discovery of the lineage factor and its application, and various other scientific achievements that are said to be at least 500 years ahead of current technology. His invention is so secret that even X-Drake was shocked when he found out that the Pacifist has developed so much. Vegapunk created many Pacifist units, of whom had the same appearance as the real Kuma, and sent those prototypes to deal with incidents around the world. Few people outside the Marines actually knew about the prototypes, thinking they were the real Kuma, but several people did not hear rumors about them, mostly pirates in the New World. During the Marineford arc, the Marines planned to end this transmission to the world, and then following Sengoku's plan, Sentomaru ordered the Pacifists to separate the New World pirates in a circular formation and exterminate them all, and while killing anyone, he tried to leave the circle. The pirates were outnumbered by the Pacifists' superior firepower and armor, and Whitebeard noted that they were not above sacrificing allies to achieve results. However, Sengoku ordered them to avoid attacking the pirates of Whitebeard as a way to create doubt and manipulate Whitebeard's allies to attack Whitebeard on the belief he was sacrificing them to save Ace. as this was seen around the world which was not intended by the Marines. Now to the point of the video, it does not make sense for the Marines to release news about Vegapunk's new invention. They didn't do it before, so why should they do it now? Those were the words of my bro, Blacklegs Vinsmoke. So these are my reasons. As the world saw the new weapons, the Pastfists, plenty questions will be asked about what the government is up to. From this observation alone, I believe the government will announce a new invention to the world, creating and fighting alongside the Marines will also protect them. A new Pastfista. The new protector will be the one who fights alongside the Marines from Vegapunk's past, who has been able to modify animals to have weaponry and also to modify artificial devil fruits. It's a new model with a combination of the two. These cyborgs will follow orders just like Kuma did, but will be in the form of the Marines. If you remember this film, Robocop, these are the law enforcers that I have in mind. Set in a crime-ridden district, Michigan, in the near future, Robocop enters on police officer Alex Murphy, who is murdered by a gang of criminals, revived the mega corporation Omni Consumer Products (OCP) as superhuman cyborg law enforcers known as Robocop. I don't want to say much more about this, but it makes sense why this is the reason why Vegapunk is mentioned in the newspapers at last, a new Marine hero. It does remind you of the comic strip Sora and the Transforming Robot. What do you think? That includes why Oz Jr. is now modified as a cyborg by the Marines as a new weapon, and why Kuma is now a cyborg that can use many devil fruits. Now, that was part 1, now for part 2. It's about the Supermarines. Have you heard of the term, the bigger they are, the harder they fall? That's exactly it, with the Agent Giants. If the Marines were able to create perfect examples of them, they were deemed useless against the top level pirates. But if they were smaller but had the same strength, would that be a different situation completely? Now comes to the topic of modified humans. Modified humans are humans who have been biologically modified through genetic enhancements to enhance physical traits. Modified humans are humans whose lineage factor has been manipulated, usually at the embryonic stage, by manipulating this blueprint of life. The growth of life form in question can be changed accordingly. An example of this was while Sanji's mother was pregnant, Judge forced her to undergo the surgery which manipulated the lineage factor of the 4 fetuses she was carrying. However, due to Sora's interference, only 3 of these 4 sons were born as modified humans. After the birth, they were further experimented on, including being administered drugs in order to increase their development. These experiments were also performed on their elder sister. Now, taking a DNA sample from the Agent Giants and using that to modify a Marine soldier, all the experiments have failed so far, and thus they became known as the Numbers. Now the experiment has now become successful, and that's thanks to Oz Jr. Having aided his allies in the Marineford War, little Oz Jr. was knocked unconscious again by cannon fire. His fate after the war is currently unknown. Just how Morio was excited to see of his existence, so too was Vegapunk, who took his whole body and made his own Supermarines. A miniature Oz with the same strength. Crazy, right? Now talking of DNA lineage factor, I believe Vegapunk was also experimented with this, and this led on to the Vinsmoke Judge and Caesar Clown conducting their own research. Could Edward Weebo be a failed modified human with the strength of Whitebeard? It would explain his strength by Whitebeard's DNA. Kaido was captured many times where Vegapunk experimented on him, even created an artificial devil fruit which Momonosuke consumed. If the Marines had this ability to use pirate DNA to create their own clone version, would it be too crazy if they did that to Gol D Roger as well? After his execution, where is Roger's body? Was this why at the end of Marineford War, Shanks requested to take the bodies of Ace and Whitebeard, knowing full well what the Marines were up to? Imagine a group of super cyborgs with multiple devil fruit powers and super elite Marines with the DNA's past pirates like Gol D Roger. They look like normal Marines, but with the ability and strength of former pirates. Even though the pirates are back to life, it's just their strength, but not the real one. Oda would never do a Naruto and bring back dead characters. We would finally get to see Luffy versus Gol D Roger. Well, the fake one anyway. What do you think of this elite team of Marines? Anyways, thanks for watching the video. Please leave comments down below. Please click like, and if you haven't, please subscribe to Flying Panda, and of course, join our Discord. Our road to 100k subs is underway.
Flying Panda.
One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind, I designed this rhyme, explain in due time. All I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as a pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock ticks life away, it's so unreal. Didn't look out below. What time fly through out the window. Trying to hold on, but didn't even know. I wasted it all just to watch you go. I kept everything inside, even though I tried. It all fell apart. What it meant to be will eventually be a memory of a time when I tried so hard.